Good morning, everyone. Good morning to you, wonderful people out there. Welcome to FYI. For your information, I am Joretta Finance joining you this morning to bring you credible information as I always do. Let me know what's going on at your end, guys. It is Tuesday, the 12th of July, 2022, and we were not on yesterday. You know what was up. We sent out a message. Power shortage at our end, so we could not have been on. No fault of ours, but we apologize to you because I know so many persons reached out during the course of the day yesterday asking what is going on, why the program was done, and so forth. So guys, I know that you missed us, and it was very, very heartwarming to know that you look forward to the program every single morning. So we are very, very pleased with your feedback. This morning, I know that we're seeing folks like Yvonne Rodriguez very, very early this morning online. It's always a pleasure to have you with us, Yvonne. Tommy Gibbs, there in the house, very, very early. Tommy, what is going on with you? Says good morning to all Guyanese watching FYI from around the world. And I endorse that. Good morning to every one of you, each and every one of you who is watching from around the world, wherever you're joining us from. Isabella Butters, good morning to you. Isabella, how are you doing this morning? I see Chising Henry saying good morning, family, FYI family, all around up right about now. You know we have a family meeting every morning at 8 a.m. and here we are for that family meeting to discuss what is happening in Guyana, in the Caribbean, and around the world. So much going on. Roxanne Jacobs, good morning to you, Roxanne. What are you doing over there right now? And Jomo Pras, not Pras, Jomo Pras. Good morning to you, Jomo Pras. How are you doing there? Deborah Clark joining us out of Barbados this morning. Good morning to you, Deborah. How are you this morning? Are you working today? Let us know there in the comment section. Sheila's boy child, good morning to you. Joining us is good morning, Lady J. I like that, Lady J. Good morning to you, Michael Gittens. How are you this morning, guys? Let me know where you're joining from. I haven't been asking that over the past couple of days. Let me know where you're joining from. I see Don Cook. Well, we know where Don is joining from. If you don't know where Don is joining from, you're not FYI family, first grade family as yet, okay? Dawn is joining from the west side, the best side, and I'm seeing Marlon DeYoung in the house this morning also. It's always a pleasure to have you wonderful folks joining us. I see Sheila's boy child is saying Queens in the house. Lovely of you to join us this morning from Queens. How are you doing over there? Let us know how's the weather there. I see Natasha Congreves is also joining us, and Natasha is joining us from the UK. And Debbie Apple says it's a great program. Thank you so much, Debbie. We appreciate, highly appreciate those feedbacks. I'm seeing Floyd King is saying good morning from West Rumvelt. Good morning to all the folks that are joining us from West Rumvelt this morning. It's always so great to have you with us. Unruly Dexter Anthony. Unruly Dexter, let us know what is going on there with that unruly. What does that mean? I'm not sure what that means. I'm a little too old for these names, I think. I see Fitzherbert Jarek is joining us this morning. Also, Marlon Thomas. Hey, Marlon, what's going on at your end? And Peggy Russell. Good morning to you, Peg. Guys, you missed us yesterday. I'm sure you did. Based on the folks that was messaging, I know that you guys missed us, but it's always good to be back with you this morning. Mark Williams in Brooklyn, New York. Hey, everyone joining from Brooklyn, New York, good morning to you. Good morning, good morning. You know, if we don't give Brooklyn a shout out, we got some persons that comes in repping hard for you guys, you know, Lynn Finance and so forth. They don't play. Can't miss out New York at all. Anthony Nicholson, good morning to you, Anthony, and to the entire FYI family. Anthony saying good morning to everyone. Is it John Jones is joining us out of New Jersey this morning. So good morning to you, John Jones. How's it over there? Let us know. The weather is cool in DC, Washington. Nice to know. As Donna McRae is saying, the weather is cool in DC, Washington. So much for us to discuss today. You know what you have to do. Share the stream. It's very early in the program. Do what you have to do. Share the stream so that a lot of persons can come on and be a part of the discussion. And I say the discussion because that's how we do it. You know, that's what we always do. Where is Sherrod? Oh, well, you know that question always comes in. Sherrod is going to be on it in 2 minute stops. He is going to be on in 2 minute stops. So he's coming through. Don't worry. Joining from Region 6, Marlon King. Lovely, lovely to have you joining us in Region 6 this morning. Everyone joining from Region 6, check in. Region 7, where the folks in Region 7? I think I saw Roxanne a little bit early. I'm not sure. Region 7, check in. Region 8, you need to check in. And Region 1, 9, also, guys, check in. Region 10, I'm not seeing you comment in the comment section this morning. I need to see Region 10 in the comment section. Very, very important. I see Michael Gittins said share, share, share. Lovely, Michael Gittins. I'm very, very happy about that. Carl Fordyce is in the house this morning also. And I see John Mark Hannibal says good morning. So good morning to you, John Mark. Hope all is well at your end. And is it Chanelli Ross? Good morning to you. Good morning to you. I hope I got your name right. And Candy Nalini Inderjit says, hello, hello, Jaretta. Is it a very bright, warm good morning to you? But guys, you know Candy always a little extra in the morning. She's always upbeat, the most upbeat spirit and personality you can find in a person. Region 1 in the house. Lovely, lovely, lovely there. I see Ted Lucas says, good morning. Have a wonderful time. Ted Lucas joining us all the way from Region 1. We appreciate you taking the time out to be with us this morning. Very, very important for us. So we thank you so much. Make sure that you share the stream to other persons. They're very pertinent information. There are no Ted. There's some specifics happening right now with the Two Showers Council and so forth that I know a lot of discussion I'm seeing coming out of there about the sidelining of the outgoing council, the representatives there, and them not being a part and not being able and afforded the opportunity to be a part of the planning and execution of the council. So a lot going on there. I'm seeing I think I'm seeing Region 7, Region 8, Region 4. Region 4 in the house there, but Region 4 is always in the house. Come on, guys. You know, Region 4 is kind of like, try to strong arm this thing. But we're not going to allow that. We're not going to allow that. Region 1 and Region 2. Thank you so much for joining us, guys. Desiree Albert, I'm seeing you there in the comment section. Is it Stanborn? Saying, boom, we outside Brooklyn. So lovely of you to be here this morning. Let us know where else you're joining us from. Let us know. Yeah, Ted is saying, hope you guys are following the National Two Showers Conference. It's very messy. Most definitely, Ted, we are looking into that, and these are very, very important information. I am going to take. I'm going to go over to that gathering there today myself because the opposition was not afforded any invitation or anything like that to the opening or to any of the activities, and I can say that even though that invitation was not put given to the opposition, I'm going to make myself present there. Warren Figueroa joining us out of Long Island. Good morning to you, Warren. How are you doing this morning? Let us know what is going on. How is the family? I'm hoping everyone is good. Sharon Alfonso Evans says Trinidad is here. So good morning to you. You know, I'm seeing Michael Jack is also there joining from Ithaca. Lovely, lovely. I'm so happy to have you here this morning. And Sandra Holder says, good morning from Linden. Share the damn live, says Marlene Thomas. I endorse that statement. Stacey Ann Stall, good morning to you, Stacey Ann, joining us from Brooklyn this morning. Chising is saying, let me see, Chising, I'm going to get that comment. I had to start to pray for him to calm down. Chising, I didn't get the beginning of that, so I'm so sorry about that. I didn't get the beginning of that comment. And I'm seeing Sherry Baskin. Greenwich says, credible information. I endorse that comment as well. Very, very true. All our information goes through the rigorous process of being fact-checked. We don't want to bring you any information that we have not personally fact-checked ourselves. When we go out there, we don't even bring, guys, you don't know how serious this is. We literally don't bring you information. Even if it's in mainstream media, we try not to bring you information if we haven't done certain analysis ourselves, like especially when it comes to things like economic concept and principles, the way in which reports are being interpreted and all of those things. A lot of times you will see mainstream media would go with a different interpretation and a different side of it than we bring, because we do our own analysis. We have a very strong team that is very capable and able, and the experts in various fields that goes through those bits and pieces of information and bring you the right angle of that altogether. I see Desiree Albert is there also, and Shakira Phillips. Let me know what is going on. One of the biggest issues there. And Ted, I'm going to tell you, Ted, you're going to want to stay through the entire program today because we're going to be dealing with that issue of the National Two Shows Conference very, very heavily in today's program. We have been following. We have to represent people. And it's not okay for any administration to just go in and just give lip service to persons when they are not affording them their democratic freedom to actually control the way in which the simple conference goes, right? So it's very unfortunate based on what we're hearing there. Very messy. I think that's the word Ted Lucas used there, messy. And I have to agree with that it is very messy. Beatrice Selby, nice weather in Queens, New York. I'm at work. Lovely to know, Beatrice. Make sure that you are doing well. Make sure that you get home very safely. GT Boy is in the house. GT Boy said, I was scared last night. You were scared last night. Why was that? Spice Man. Oh, nice. Spice Man is in the house. Little Spice Man, we've been waiting on you to come so that we can start this discussion. GT Boy, Spice Man, you guys now rolling in. We've been waiting on you before we start the discussion heavily this morning, so it is lovely to have you. So I guess we are just seconds away from actually starting the conversation today into so many issues that is going on the ground. You can hear Mr. Duncan there in the background saying he's coming, and he's coming there very quickly. So let us see how quickly he's going to get here. Edward Gonzalez joining us from the Bronx. Edward, what's going on in the Bronx? So, I'm happy to have someone join from the Bronx, and I have to say that we want to get some feedback as to what is going on there. Guyanese there. How many Guyanese are there close to you? How many Guyanese reside close to you? And what is going on over there? What is it that you need to tell us? Very, very interesting. Where's Amanda? Spice Man is asking, where is Amanda? Amanda is out and about stretching her legs, but she's going to be back shortly. I am hoping, we gotta pull her in for some fitness there. Emily Durant says, good morning, y'all. And Jennifer Bob says, good morning to all the FYI family. She's joining this morning from Brooklyn. Guys, yesterday it was Monday, and there was so much for us to discuss yesterday that we could not have even brought a lot of those information. Yesterday, Mr. Duncan tried during the course of the podcast and also last evening in the ring to pack all of those information together because we didn't have we didn't have the pleasure of the discussion as we're having right now in the morning with you guys. However, we're just going to touch on probably a few of those, a little bit of highlights here and there. And I'm going to say there are still issues that we've been focusing on since last week that continues to push forward. A lot of cans being kicked down the road without solutions being given from the level of the administration. But a whole lot in interesting comments coming out right now from Mayor Finale. So we're going to get into all of that very much so. I think I sense a little plea for help there coming from Mr. Halley when it comes to investigation. So let us see how that goes.
If I don't know one thing we're doing.
Well, Sherrod is of the opinion that he doesn't know what he's doing.
I know my mic is hot now. You know one thing.
Warren Figueroa says Sherrod had Paiwari last night. Sherrod, you were different last night. You had Paiwari last night. So, Facebook user, good morning to you. I see you in the house. And Carol Rollins there. I was trying to get you guys yesterday, but okay, yes. So we were not able to come on like folks know because we had some difficulty on our end when it comes to the supply of electricity. Not our fault, but we're here with you this morning, Glenford Gordon.
I'm so happy to be here too. I'm so happy to be here.
And
can I walk in?
I think you can. We just have to shift ourselves a little bit. But
you know how we stay. We're going to shift quickly, guys. So good morning, all. Good morning to each and every one of you. We're so happy that you folks are here. And Dorita allows me to come a little late these mornings. As one gets older, we tend to go a lot slower.
I feel sorry for him.
It kind of slowed me down.
Or this celebration slowed down?
We are here now.
Okay.
I think you can be happy about that. We out here now.
Yes.
We out here now. Good to be here, folks, and good to have each and every one of you guys here with us. It's really a pleasure. I look forward to it. It's the people I look forward to and the free food. At least the tea. Morning, guys. Good morning. How are we doing today?
I'm great. I'm blessed. How are you? How are you?
I am good too.
You know,
Very happy to be here.
I have
Very
this
happy to
friend,
be here.
right? I have this friend, guys. I have this really good friend of mine.
You have a friend. Candice, you're hearing him calling.
Candice is my best friend.
Not a
That's
friend.
a different level.
Not a friend.
So I have this friend. Like every time I ask him, like, how are you this morning? He's like, I'm good. I'm good. I don't know, but when I ask him, he says I'm great. And so I spoke with him yesterday, and I said, how are you? He's like, I'm good. And then within 2 seconds, he's like, nah, I'd be lying if I said I was good. I'm great.
Wow.
So
having for breakfast?
He has generally this upbeat personality.
You live in locally here?
Yes,
sure?
This guy has this upbeat personality that it can be rainy, it could be thunderstorm. He's walking through his house now, brother. How are you? I'm great.
I'm great. Wow.
Different.
Wow, I wake up like he in the morning.
Yes, I encourage.
I wake up like he.
Very, very inspirational when it comes to optimistic personalities.
Yeah. I'm so happy that so many folks have joined us this morning. One of the things that really set me off recently, we've been dealing a lot with a lot of stuff. We've been dealing with a lot of issues. The Saudis are here, or were here. We're dealing with Sugate, and that in particular. We've been dealing with the high cost of living. We've been dealing with the corruption. We've been dealing with a lot of issues of recent. But that thing really triggered something in me, looking at that extended version of Galaxy, or I should say extended version, because they named it differently. They named it differently, as you would say, altogether. They've named it differently. But to hear that guy say...
different segment.
To hear that guy, honestly, and they know what he's talking about.
Yeah.
Right? I accept what he's talking about, but you can't say it.
Yeah.
You know, other people can say what's up, Naliga. You can't say it.
Yeah.
Culturally.
Got you.
Right? So to hear him saying that Vice News piece, right? Everyone is nobody. Right? You don't need to know the president, but the VP.
Yeah, but what does that say? You know, I want to know, like, sitting in the chair, Air Finale, sitting there. What does he think when he looks at that? What does he think? How does he feel, knowing that he holds executive power? How does he feel about that? He holds executive power legally
folks,
by the Constitution.
Right? We were talking about our tea bag the other morning. Well, this morning I was soap. I got 2 tea bags in here locked down. I just got so. But again, it was something.
Yeah.
Because the folks who support the PPP, they don't understand what this third term has done for this country. Just third term, and they believe they go about. I think they believe no. People really think his Irfan is in charge. They think it's working.
Who thinks that?
Right? It has been done so nicely. I think the PPP supporters go about thinking that Irfan is in charge.
I don't think so.
Right?
I don't know.
Whether or not that is the case, you are not allowed to come into our country and disrespect us like that.
That's
It's a kind of paradox, but
that's where we need to, that's where we need to really draw a line when it comes to the level of disrespect. These are not Guyanese,
Yeah.
These are not Guyanese.
Come here, making a millions, thanks to the same puppet show.
Utter disrespect for the executive president of the country.
We are allowed, Guyanese, at home and abroad, we are allowed for a couple minutes there to be a fly on the wall of these meetings that take place, Oh, you all think the meetings operate in the big executive offices? No, it's on the retreats.
Those are the photo ops.
Right? Those are the photo ops when the deals are sealed. But it's on the retreats down in the Mara River. It's in somebody living room someplace. There is where the deals are being made, and so what is the word? Unsuspecting. Oh, look at you, write up a nice business proposal.
Taking it in.
Right?
I want to know why you can get some leverage.
Exactly. You're going through the front door, but everything in this country is under the table. That's what the man said. Everything. He said it would be surprising if they weren't corrupt. Worrying, he said. I see that stuck with you. Worrying if they weren't corrupt.
It stuck with me, yeah. It would be worrying if they
weren't corrupt. And Jack, you got the nerve, temerity, I know you got the balls to go out there and pampersetting himself.
Someone's asking you to check your microphone, so make sure that
pampersetting himself.
Please check it to make sure it is good.
Let me see. Tuck the receiver in my pocket. Let me see. It sounds fine. So no, I can double check it though.
Yes.
Never hurts to try. We can double check that.
Guys, just make sure, let us know if you're hearing us.
You guys can hear me clearly? Mr. Duncan, please check your microphone. All right. So these are the challenges that I'm going to check it. Yeah, don't worry. We're going to check it.
She sings a share your true linen or.
All right.
Your navel string buried in?
Yeah. Once you do that, I'm going to make a quick check on the mic. You hear the chair pull in there? Still, All right. Don't hold back the discussion.
No, but I looked at that. I looked at the continuation on Vice News there that was aired on Showtime, and it is it's embarrassing. I think that's the only word I can.
You think them boys care?
Well, they should, and there's so much more to it.
I think them boys care.
They should care, and I think that if anybody I think that Air Finale definitely cares about how people are looking at him. It's impossible for, well, it is not at all the case, I think, that any human being would sit in that seat and with any thinking for themselves and not have an issue with what is going on. I think it's ridiculous to say the least. We have been through years and years of knowing and suspecting and all of that, what goes on and how business is done within our country and all that. What we're seeing right now,
what are we seeing? What we're seeing right now is the evidence being presented to confirm what you have been thinking and then your belief through all of those years of the PPP administration. That's what has been presented to you, confirmation that all that you thought is indeed correct. And places like Go Invest and those things are not being utilized at all. And when it comes to real leverage, it is never given to the ordinary Guyanese businessmen and women. And that's where I have this issue when we are speaking about the private sector. And I know the administration, the PP administration, they love to go out there and give good speeches and so forth, that they are about doing business and they give support to the private sector and all of that. But I always have an issue because I consistently remind people that when the administration is speaking about the private sector, we need to understand very clearly, very, very clearly that they are actually speaking about that little cabal at the top, those people that they direct resources to. And now what you're seeing more so is that it's not even the cabal. It does not. It's just the model.
No. But what people are seeing right now is the cabal. It doesn't necessarily reflect Guyanese even there. And the cabal actually reflects persons that are not Guyanese within that grouping. So you really beg the question as to who are the beneficiaries of the resources of our country when you hear reporting like that, what is coming out of Vice News there.
That's the challenge.
Right? You already know that when they speak private sector, it's not small business owners. When they speak private sector, it's not the medium scale businesses and business owners. When the policy directions are going in those areas, and we always know that they have a selected group at the top. But what is damning now is that the selected group at the top, you beg the question of what proportion of that little cabal is actually Guyanese. And Guyanese businesses, Guyanese owned businesses, right? So there's some very, very concerning things going on right now. And I dare say the private sector commission right here in Guyana, they need to look at what is going on themselves to see who's actually getting the biggest chunk of the pie right now. Right?
Probably not even part of the private sector.
They will not be. The private sector commission, the structure is completely different. Listen, we have a long way to go. We have a very long way to go. It's one thing when the entire country is run in a way in which, the ordinary Guyanese are not included. And then even when it comes to the private sector, it is so segmented by the administration that that small and medium scale businesses, they just chuck one side, whatever you get by accident and whatever. And then now when you're at the helm of it, you have to question whether or not the bulk of those investment and so it's even given to Guyanese within the cabal, or it has been given to foreign companies.
The external cabal, the foreign cabal.
You know, lots of questions, more questions than answers, and we need to just dig into those questions.
The foreign cabal. We're going to be covering some of that as we go down the road.
Yeah.
But here's what we're following, folks. Some of the stuff we're following internationally. Just some of the stuff we're following internationally this morning, and we think that you ought to know about. The new UK Prime Minister is to be announced on September 5th. But you also going to do it, Boris. And Boris do it himself.
Boris different.
You also have with Boris Johnson, the Prime Minister of Great Britain, UK. Too many scandals and people weren't having it. Right? Too many scandals and people say enough is enough. You know, they got a time.
But I think Boris,
when people say enough is enough,
yes,
it happened in Sri Lanka. And I think we're getting to that point right here. We're getting to that point. We're getting to that point. People say enough is enough. I tired of y'all. I tired of Sugate. I tired of corruption. 2 years is enough. We want one more. Right? We tired of Jack Deal. We tired of Irfan. We want proper leadership. I think we're getting there. And no matter how much money we give people, they will go.
You know, Boris was very, I think his words were very instructive. You know, when he gave that final little speech that he came out in and says that when he said he's going to resign and so forth. He was very instructive in his words. When he said, when the horde moves, it moves. All right? When the horde moves, it moves. Guys, and I don't know how many of you is familiar with the concept of a horde mentality, and and the way in which it pushes large movements.
That hoarding is supposed recently.
Well, precisely. And then you're going to see what is going on there in Sri Lanka, and you get the full impact of that statement. When the horde moves, it moves. You know. Movement and representation of people, you know, a lot of times you see persons go out there and you see a group in whatever small size it is, and they go and they consistently protest and they are calling and demanding change, and then you see those numbers start growing. And what you're seeing in Sri Lanka right now, for example, it goes to show the power of people. When they are demanding change, right? The power of the people when you're demanding change, representation, especially when in any democracy, when you go out there and you vote for persons, and that's the way it should be throughout the world. You go out there and vote for persons to represent you. They have an obligation to you, the people, to answer for you, the people. And whenever you see that is no longer the case, and the case is that persons expect that the people that elected them, that's how they're sitting in office, like it or not, throughout the world, the democracies operate. And when persons believe that those persons are no longer representing their best interests, they start to speak out. And then it gets to that point that you're seeing right now. History will show us, and I think that you should be a good student of history, everybody, when it comes to the way in which these things happen. It comes to a point that everyone gets up and they say enough is enough, and persons move in a very forceful way in a specific direction, and that's what you're seeing in Sri Lanka right now. And there is no choice of the administration but to step down.
Enough is enough. That's what people are saying there. And we come to that point here. People tired of all this foolishness. You know, you don't want the indigenous people, their voices to be heard. You hijack the conference. You want to push on the agenda what you want to push for your own political purposes. And when we get to that point, they ain't got no coming back, you know.
Well, we have
no coming back.
We have some of the things, especially when it comes to the National Treasures Conference. You know, we've been covering a lot, especially when it comes to human rights violation there at Chinese landing and all of those things. You know, and it is impossible. It is impossible. It's unacceptable, and all of those things for you to go and to give good speeches at these events to say that the rights and would be respected and all of those things when there are so many there are so many highlighting gross violations.
Correct. Those things have been found in the
people.
That's the problem
in our country, and those things are still being done in the case of the Chinese landed, and
Yep,
even
yep,
UN
yep,
made
yep.
a pronouncement on that. So how then do you?
It's another place that had an international tribunal hand down a decision. And you know, in just this morning's paper, I saw I can't remember. I saw a gentleman writing about that. They said since those two decisions have been handed down, they didn't even have the common courtesy to meet with them.
Correct.
Right? Romario Hastings.
Romario Hastings.
And Aquayo Youth. It's signed in the papers. Romario Hastings, Aquayo. He said they didn't have the common courtesy after those decisions were handed down to come and talk to the community.
Yep.
That's how disrespectful people are saying we had enough. We had enough. In addition to that, folks, some other stuff happening overseas we thought you guys ought to know about. This is another issue that we're looking at. It's right next door. International news, but right next door. Brazil's party official Marcelo Arruda, he was shot dead. You know, they got election coming up. Pre-election violence there is escalating. Right? And this gentleman was shot dead quite recently, causing quite a stir there. Elections are heating up. Right next door in Brazil, heating up, folks. We're keeping the eye on that. Of course, got some thoughts about it. Marcelo and his family. Of course. But things heating up next door, guys. Who's sharing the live, who's smashing the emoji button, folks. Partner with us as well. Share the live. We're following this, folks. This is one of the things we're following. Yeah.
That's a very serious,
very much so.
incident that happened there in Brazil. I think those things are not to be taken lightly.
Very much so.
Because the pre-elections violence, as we know, there in Brazil has been heating up, and we have to keep a close eye on it. You know, Brazil is our neighbor when it comes to our border and so forth. We have to be very keen to pay attention to what is going on over there. Very interesting times in Brazil, and we will continue to follow it. We'll continue to bring you the update. But that's a very sad development over there. That's not something that no country should support at any point in time.
Correct. You know, elections should be free and fair.
Correct.
And free from fear as well.
Free and fair and free. I think free from fear is what needs to be highlighted.
Very important.
When we talk about democracy, there's no point of saying it was free and fair, but it wasn't free from fear.
Correct is right.
So a lot of work to be done. I think Guyana's system is right there when we need to keep hammering the free from fear. Because people seem to be getting
You said it best. A lot of work to be done. I see Candy has joined us. Good morning, Candy, and Don Cook, and Kyle Rollins is here as well. I see Chinsing Henry, Gene Williams. Thanks to all you good folks for joining us. Do share the live. Myron Thomas is here as well. Good to see you, Myron. Another thing we're following, and this is now original, and we are celebrating with the Mighty Sparrow, 87 not out. 87 and going strong. Happy birthday. This man has redefined calypso music in the region for a long time. A cultural icon now. It is one like the Mighty Sparrow of Trinidad and Tobago. Celebrating 87.
Do you want to sing a song?
Who can be Sparrow? Nobody knows. Sparrow there. You know, he's been reported that so many times. I think people just like, you know, fake news around, you know. Fake news around. Here's the man that say, never eat a white meat yet.
Never eat a white
meat. I love fall back, you know. I love fall back.
Sharon knows his,
I love fall back.
His lyrics, his poetry, and I leave it. Anything that concerns language, I leave it to Sharon. And I think anything that concerns numbers, for me, you know, with different.
I wish I was here with the shit, yeah. You just tell my stomach upset. Let me tell you, yeah. Happy birthday to the Mighty Sparrow. You know, I show my age now, huh? I show my age. Yes, that's right. Let's know now. Yes, let's know. As we start the program, but then young people gotta pace and power, you know, right? Pace and power. This is what we're following. Another part of the region, folks. But this is now Antigua and Barbuda. You know, their ruling party. This is the Antigua and Barbuda Labour Party. They've just endorsed 17. Well, not just. They've endorsed 17 candidates for the general election, which I think was yesterday actually, but I didn't see any results posted. I hope we got the date right. But I saw the 11th of July as the date for the general election. I didn't say we were hunting online to get some more information on this. But 17 candidates, and they are betting on their stewardship in office to give them another term. We have to wait and see what happens on that front. We have to wait and see what happens on that, because Gaston Brown, the Prime Minister currently incumbent, he's had a couple of missteps during COVID. A couple of missteps during COVID and in some other areas, but you see, we have a non-interference policy, so we can just report the facts and wait for the rest to bring it to you guys. But even though 17 so a small island, CARICOM brother and sister, Antigua and Barbuda, and they're looking to be returned to office. This is the Antigua and Barbuda Labour Party. Yep, and that's what's happening on that front, folks. Right? And as we come closer to home, folks, we come closer to home one time, let us tell you that New York-based Guyanese couple, Travis Williams and Chanel Bradford, they lost their life in a car crash in Long Island.
Yeah.
So Warren, maybe you can tell us even some more about this. Two young people so full of life. Travis a little older than I am, 45. Chanel 35, just about my age there. Have lost their lives in this tragic accident. Two beautiful young people. Our thoughts and our prayers go out to them. The weaker Guyanese people all over the world, working hard and making a difference, having our flag flying high. We love that. And that's why we say, whether home or abroad, slow down. Practice all the 5 C's on the road: care, caution, all that good stuff. Slow down on the arrival eye. Our thoughts and prayers go out to those family. Julia.
Yeah, most definitely we've been saying, we've been asking for persons to be cautious even here at home all the time. And very, very sad news going out that we're reading about right now. So we have to say our sincere condolences to the family of those 2 individuals. It's very, very tragic for us to be looking at all the footage and photos coming out from that scene.
Yeah, so, yesterday there was an accident on the Linden Suzette Highway.
Yeah.
I don't know, there was too much for us to show so early in the morning.
Yeah.
But again.
Footage is very scary.
We got to slow down, guys. We got to slow down. If we don't get into this thing alive, we got to slow down. Slow down alive.
Yeah, we have to. I have to say, I've had so many experiences that you're in a vehicle with someone, like especially taxis, and I have to say that specifically taxis, they are most. I don't know if they're in a hurry to meet Jesus. What is it? But I'm not in that hurry, and I let them know. Yeah. I let them know that I'm not in that hurry. So I understand if you're in that hurry, you can just put me out, but I'm not in that hurry. So because I don't understand, sometimes the traffic light is at red and they're approaching it, but they have to pass everybody to go and wait in line.
Yeah. And somehow when you stop at a pedestrian crossing for somebody to pass, that means be on the inside or the outside. They don't understand why you pass. You stop, your line has a light, and then boys still beating. It's the weirdest thing to watch.
And the bicycle lanes right now, as it's being defined, that's a different level. The bicycle lane means on the take,
But part of this is education.
That's how they see it.
And I don't see enough education happening as to our new road designs. Because first time we get bicycles. Bicycles go in the car now. Right? Just go in the car now. Right? You ask poor people, go in the car now. Right? But in a country that values the mobility of its people, the cyclists are right up there at the apex of the food chain. In mobility, is the pedestrian, number 1, cyclists 2. But not in this country, them boys driving for miles in the cycling lane.
And I saw the most ridiculous thing. A bus was like literally trying to undertake a vehicle because it come out in the cycle lane now and blowing aggressively because the cyclist is there, right?
Oh wow!
Like the cyclist is in his.
The one I'll take a life, but I take a come for them. You watch them see. God forbid, right? But while we're following that, we covered right here recently, folks. A bus was plying its route, and as you said, some folks were complaining about the loud music. The man stopped and put him out. He said, I finished working.
Yes, stop and put them out. I support that. You stop and put them out, and
they have a right.
No, they have a right now. No, listen. If I prefer you put the people out and go and cause an accident and kill the people. Now those persons, and this is where the systems have to work. Those persons now need to be afforded at a structure that when they go and report that bus is grounded off of the road.
Yeah.
But that does not work. That's why they continue to do that.
Yeah.
That does not work. That's why they continue to do that. They need to have a system in place that this bus, a bus with passengers in it that stop and put people out, is grounded.
So the people complain and the bus driver put them out. He said, finish working. And you want to complain, work it. I don't know. I really fell asleep. Folks, while that's happening, this is what we're following at the National Two Shorts Conference. You know, they're telling us that on the sidelines of the National Two Shorts Conference, which we're heading into discussing, the question was put to FYI whether, you know, he's surprised by anything he would have seen or heard, and what is his position on that. He said that he thinks that, you know, allegations of bribery should be probed by the legal, not really legal, by the police authorities.
I think that's a call. I think that's a call for help. I think that's a call for help.
Who are you calling to?
I think that this man is begging persons to go and
Who are you
push
calling?
for an investigation to be had against his VP. I think this man is
So
desperate.
he could benefit. All of them should resign.
That's what I'm telling you.
Let us VP. He too
That's what I'm
resign.
telling you.
They hand off the wheel and let's bail out this now. It's a free for all. Free for all. He said, this thing needs, I think Sabrina's highlighted the word some investigation or something like that. Right? But he didn't give it in a comprehensive way at all, because now they had a lot of pushback after the first one, because Janky was the center. Now when you see another story, I mean, you tell me, these people conspire.
Correct.
All these Chinese nationals conspire to make this up because they are known businessmen here. And the others look bad just to get at Mr. Jagio. Well, that's quite something. That is quite a feat if you want us to believe that. But notice, since the second iteration, folks, have you noticed that? Since the second iteration of Guyana for Sale, right? Them boys have gone quiet. You don't see those statements. You remember the Public Safety Commission to come out and say, oh, they vouch for the integrity, right, and the chastity of Mr. Jagio. But no, nobody said that now.
Yes.
They have gone quiet.
Nobody wants to say anything. But I want to just quote a bit as being reported here in Starbuck News. So I'm quoting from Irfanadi that says, what is clear, there are some people there who are saying they are involved in such activities. If you look at the video, and that definitely requires an investigation. And I'm hoping the relevant security and relevant agencies are looking at this, because it is clear that someone says they are involved.
Twitter, you and I can hope. If a man snatch with chain, you know, with little weekends and so on, we can hope the police look into it. They don't have to. But this is the president. President doesn't hope. The president can give instructions, he can guide, he can make things happen. The president leadership I've learned many years ago, thanks to a past of ours. The president leadership is not saying things cannot be done, it is making things happen. And he is in a position, an influential position, to make things happen. Starbuck News advised yesterday they should have a commission of inquiry made of international persons of standing up, handpicked by TVP, friends, family, and people, right, to investigate Sugate and get to the bottom of it. They come out the first time, Sandra Brotherson, Viber Johnson, Joel Ward, Sharon Grant, and all manner of things. You know, I said, the youngest, this is that, and turn your necks. Is this, but he said, shop is able, how people such of them, you know, those Chinese nationals to say those things? Is all them people set up those who to say those things? Oh, the president is nobody. You don't got me. You can make it, if you don't make it, you miss nothing. That no, he's the one. He's the one. He said, oh, you can have some investigations here, man. What a weak response. What a weak. Is it tipping the right one?
I don't know if it's a weak response. I don't think weak. I wouldn't put the word weak with it. I think it's a disrespectful response to the people of the country that is looking for an investigation. I think it's disrespectful to the people to say that, oh, well, I hope the agencies are looking at this, because persons need to be very keen as to the differences in how they handle various matters. Statements coming out and the reports being in the news from the office of the Attorney General that they're looking into, and persons will be brought to justice for whomever they're looting at the markets and so forth, right? And so it says they're not saying that we hope the police and the relevant agencies do their investigations to the persons that looted the market and so forth. Right? They're not saying that they're hoping that an investigation is up. They're making very definitive pronunciations on those matters. But when it comes to something at magnitude, as what we're seeing here, when you're seeing something at the magnitude of these allegations that are being made, bribery when it comes to money laundering and all of those things, then you hear a disrespectful comment that, oh, well, I'm hoping the relevant agencies just do their work in that regard. That is not how things work. The same way in which definitive pronouncements are made when it comes to other matters that is not even close to the magnitude of such allegations, then you know for certain that they are willfully giving a disrespectful comment to basically say, but we don't have anything to do with that. We can't blame us because other persons need to do their job. So,
due to the folks are saying that your microphone is clearer, I'm going to try yet again to adjust my own. But here's where we're heading, folks. Here's where we're heading with this National Two Showers Conference issue. And Judith is going to make her foray into that. I'm going to double check my mic. They say it is clear at Judith's end. I don't know why.
I think my mic is clear or my voice is clearer.
You see that? You see when she wants to start another story?
Is it the mic being clearer or is it that my voice is clearer, guys? Let me know.
She'll be good,
I am good, but I just want to be very keen. I just want to be very keen on that.
Yeah, she'll be good. She'll be good at all. Right? I will live peacefully as an abiding citizen, but she'll be good at all. She got a will into me. So that's what I deserve. You understand? That's what I deserve.
Well, guys, you would know that when it comes to the National Two Showers Conference, as you're seeing, we're looking at right now, you will know when it comes to that started yesterday. And at the beginning of all of it, all the allegations started to roll in. Well, not allegations. Let me just say, the Two Showers started to speak out against what is going on. Let me just not try to butter it up or anything like that. The Two Showers started to speak out as to the way in which the conference was being organized and so forth. Guys, anyone that has been following the National Two Showers Conference would know that the only time that the National Two Showers Conference and the representatives of the Two Showers had held their actually was given the freedom to plan their conference at will was under the APNU's AFC 10 office, right? That is the only time they knew of that. Prior to 2015, it was exactly what it is right now. In that the PUP went in there, they strong-armed the process, they did everything as they like. So during the APNU's AFC 10 year in office, they were given their democratic right. They were allowed it. No one tried to infringe on their democratic right of the Two Showers to actually go out and plan their conference. The very, very first time, you can go check the records, see how that went. So now again, the PUP is in office, and there's one thing that you know for sure under the PUP administration is that they strong arm everything. And I have no apologies for saying this, if they were not in a position and actually were not able to push their hands into the mix and to direct how things are done, they would have done everything in their power to push back the conference. Push it back until they get to that point. And I often say, even on the FYI programs, that is the only way they push forward with things that they must have. They are, and I think Kem Ramjitan always says it, control freakism. I think that is one of the things that we always talk about, that if they don't have control of something, they don't go ahead with it. And that's what you're seeing there right now. It's very crazy. It's absolutely ridiculous. And following some of the comments there, and so the Two Showers are now seeing, Joel Ward, they're now seeing pure dictatorship transpiring there. I see Shannon Skeet, and I'm seeing Lachman Mahabir there. Lachman Mahabir often comes to the program, one of the PPP supporters, and I always appreciate her Lakshmi Mahabir, always appreciate your presence here.
Strong views.
Very, very strong views.
Part of Democratic Society.
Appreciate it, but I would just like for Lakshmi Mahabir.
Very, very strong views. All within the Democratic Society.
And I think that one of the things that Lakshmi could do and should do is to bring a little bit of support in data when it comes to the claims that she makes here. A little bit of articles.
Outlandish claims?
Yes.
Support,
because there's nothing that I say, and I always say that, I love to have these debates, especially when it comes to supporters of the PVP. I love to have the debates because there's nothing that I say that I can't bring the facts and the evidence to say this is how things happen.
Once you know that.
You have to bring it from your
side
as well.
Yeah, but don't take our word for it. For instance, you're going chairman of the National Two Shows Conference. He has had some very choice words. As a matter of fact, he said that his flight, because they were asking, and he was very adamant with the ministry that they didn't like how the management of this conference was taking place, the planning for it. When he was trying to find out about his transportation and so on to come to the conference, the ministry was very, very not forthcoming as to what arrangements were put in place. Correct. Right? And he, along with a number of the other executives from the previous council, basically were not invited because if you don't provide transportation for them to come out, you got to spend your own money. And that's a lot of money, to travel to the interior of this country. Which is basically saying you're not invited. Yeah. Right? But that being said, he had a letter in today's Sabbath News, and this is part of what he said, right? So Lakshmi Mahabir and the other, I think it's just us and so on. Look some facts for you. This is Mr. Nicholas Fredericks, the outgoing chairman of the National Two Shows Council. And he says in a letter in Sabbath News today, with the header, independence of outgoing NTC, National Two Shows Council, was undermined by this government. Undermined by this government. I encourage our two shows to stand strong. Nicholas Fredericks. He says as part of this letter, as the outgoing chairman of the National Two Shows Council Executive, I expected and hoped to guide the planning of this year's conference with my fellow outgoing executive members. Instead, the planning for this conference has not included us. We as former leaders have been sidelined, and the agenda does not allow for the current two shows to run the conference themselves. Wow, what an indictment on the PPP and the people who say they care. Wow. Wow, that's the outgoing chairman of the National Two Shows Council Executive. Wow, and he says the conference has been undermined by the PPP. Very interesting. Right, so over to you now, Ms. Mahabir. Over to you.
Yes. Respond.
Over to you now. That's Mr. Fredericks. That's APNU AFC. That's the outgoing chairman. It is all deliberate judgment. Pen that letter. Right? All deliberate judgment. Look, I see somebody else talking about my mic. Let me check it out. I don't know what's supposed to happen with me this morning. We're going to double check it a little later on. All right? I want you to do something more clear to me.
I think I want to share my mic with you.
I just do. But that being said, there was another letter yesterday. We didn't get a chance to share with you guys because we had the trouble yesterday morning. But in addition to that, the former advisor to the Minister of Indigenous Affairs and Marine Affairs, Mr. Mervyn Williams, he had a letter to in yesterday's Sabbath News on the same issue of the PPP, in his words, which we borrowed our what do you call it? Our subtopic for this morning from the PPP hijack. Right? That's what Mr. Williams says. The Amerindian Affairs Ministry has hijacked the Two Shows Conference. And in his letter yesterday morning, this former advisor of the advisor to the Minister of Amerindian Affairs, Mr. Mervyn Williams, he said in this letter, there is no place in the program for any indigenous group or council or other such body to make any representation on behalf of indigenous citizens. There is not even a session which allows indigenous leaders to spend time together in a closed room conversation where they can discuss matters of importance away from government official and the media. Wow. Wow, the devil member is breathing down the neck, watching over the shoulder. Indigenous leaders want to discuss important issues which they have not been allowed to have included on the agenda for this National Two Shows conference. And folks, it went on from there. It was nice. Right? It wasn't nice. Again, PPP, and we've talked about this here, Twitter. Whatever they can control, they block up, they mash up, they try to infiltrate and take over. That's how they do it. Regretfully. That's how they do it. That's how they do it.
Well, we know how the PP operates, and I have to say that even in the indigenous community, and at this point in time, I must add, I saw Lennox Schumann, parading himself. The only thing Lennox Schumann is left to say right now is vote PPP.
Yeah.
That's the only thing he's left to say, vote PPP, and he needs to be called out for his actions and more so his inaction on various matters at this point in time. He campaigned throughout the country, particularly in the indigenous areas of our country. He campaigned specifically saying that he's going to go and represent the indigenous peoples of the country. He did everything but that, and he went in and once things are good for him, that is how everyone, it's been projected that once things are good for him personally, then he goes out and he just basically rehearses whatever is scripted, because there is no reason, and he is yet to condemn what is going on right now, and the fact that those individuals were sidelined. It is disrespectful.
Yeah.
A lot of the things, I have to use that word again, is disrespectful. The actions of the PP administration, it's just blatantly disrespectful actions. It says that we just do what we want to do. It's not sad, it's not a sad situation. It's a disrespectful action.
Quite true.
They believe that they can do, the indigenous people of the country, whatever they so feel.
No repercussions.
They can do. They believe that there's no repercussions.
No repercussions.
Yeah?
No repercussions. But you and I will have to keep them in check. It'll be up to us to keep them in check. Not just some of the issues we're covering this morning.
Just a little bit of the issues that we're covering this morning.
Tip of the iceberg. Some of the issues. Good to see Chelsea Henry and Don Cook. Lakshmi Mahavi, good to see you still with us. Joining Elvis. Vesta Hardy, Raj Kumar is here as well. Charlotte Skip. Good to have each and every one of you here with us, guys. We got to keep out there. We got to keep on these issues. We got to keep their feet to the fire. A lot of nonsense that we just telling about the National Two Shows Council.
Yep.
As we was talking about earlier, there's the Maruri issue with land and mining. There's the Iselri issue, land and mining. There's the Chinese landing issue, land and mining. You got issues happening at Kalkoni, issues happening at Hururu. What is the other place? All over this country. Our indigenous brothers and sisters, like other ethnic groups in this country, have been under the assault of the PP. So they have put the reins of the National Two Shows Conference from the indigenous people, and they're planning it. Right? Not indigenous people telling you can't talk. This is the National Two Shows Conference. The Two Shows are planning it. I will plan it for you because they know better. They're planning from the vastness of their own indigenous experience. Let's be run a country, really truly. Is that what we're doing? Look, we gotta get real, We gotta get real.
I did note that none other than Irfan Ali has denied that the government is trying to take control of the National Two Shows Conference agenda. But what I can say further is that based on everything that we've learned thus far, is that Irfan Ali is not aware of the way in which things are being done within Guyana. Right, so for him to make such a statement and such a pronouncement, you and I both know that he would have not been brought up to speed or aware of the way in which things are being done prior. So I believe that the two shows conference, and this is what people need to, especially the shows that are here. You know, persons need to understand, the two shows need to understand that it's only well and good when they say jump, you ask how high.
Correct.
Once you
Correct.
go and you represent your people, once you represent the interests of your people, they would have issues with it because they believe that they should dictate what representation you as Tishaus give to your people.
Very much so.
Right? And that's where the issue comes in.
Very much so.
That's where the issue comes in altogether. So people need to get up, stand up, and realize that the administration as is do not cater for the best interest,
Correct.
especially when it comes to indigenous communities. So, you know, I think Cheryl's cough is saying, you know, we've been on for an hour, so we need to go. That's what happens when you have 2 tea bags.
Yeah. Is it take?
And over soaked.
Over soaked. We're going to have each and every one of you. I see Viber Johnson is here. Joy Elvis, Bull Page, and all the other guys, Chinsey Henry, Candy NGG, and all the other folks who joined us. Shirley and Juicy Henry, the thing. Too strong.
Guys, we have been here. We've had the discussions. You know, we're on the
so happy that you guys have been
We're
here.
always
So
happy for you to bring the for you to come and join and give your feedbacks. Always so thankful, and we continue to ask you to share the stream so that other persons can do what they have to do.
Smash that emoji button as well for us. Partner with us. We're running up to month 10.
Yeah.
Is it 12 already? 13, we have month.
Yeah.
Now some responsibilities facing us, but we're happy you guys are here with us, and we know that you guys are going to party with us.
Yeah.
That's my time today.
That is our time. That is our time today.
Say, I don't look at this like some. Do you think like the justice thing so you can sound better than me?
I don't know what's going on, but I just sound better. You know, I have a better voice. You know, and I appreciate the fact that persons are recognizing this.
Go watch it. Let's have a 2 a.m. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you so much for joining us.